evening, Singapore! Good evening to the voters of Ang Mo Kio GRC. Now, thank you for coming to our rally tonight.
Thank you for fighting for us!
Thank you. My name is Ngerng, and I am contesting in the Ang Mo Kio GRC under the Reform Party. Now, some of you may know that I worked at a hospital. We had patients who had to come for their treatment regularly. But some of them were from low-income families, and in order to get cheaper medication, they had to fill out many forms, and even to ask their family members to submit their income statements so that they can apply for Medifund. But for some of them, this is embarrassing, and it takes up a lot of time. Many of them have to take on several jobs and work long hours. Some of them choose to stop applying for Medifund. Some of them choose to stop coming to the hospital completely. Now, for many of them, they earn low wages and they do not even have enough to use at home, so they have to apply for social assistance. I know one patient whose parent has cancer. So she stopped coming for her own treatment because she needed to earn enough money and to also apply for Medifund for her parent. Now, this made me think, what is the responsibility of the government? Now, the responsibility of the government is to take care of its citizens. Now, the responsibility of the government is to ensure that when we get sick, we can afford to go to the hospital. When our citizens need to further their education, they can afford to go to university. And when we need to take the trains will not break down. Now, an Ang Mo Kio resident told me, now we were standing right next to the MRT track. He pointed to the tracks and he said, the way the PAP run the country is like the way the trains are managed. There's little maintenance and it breaks down all the time. Now, has the PAP been responsible to Singaporeans? Has the PAP taken care of Singaporeans? Now, has the PAP returned our CPF? Now, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong said to a British media that he does not believe that transparency is everything. Is the CPF your money? Now, if the government does not want to be transparent to you on your CPF, then who does the government want to be transparent to? 如果人民行动党不跟新加坡人坦白，他们要跟谁坦白？ Now, today, many elderly Singaporeans have to work as cleaners and collect cardboards. Tan Chuan Jin said that this is because they want to exercise. He said that they want to do it for dignity. Would Tan Chuan Jin step down as a minister and collect cardboards for his dignity? Will he let go of his $1 million salary? Now, our elderly Singaporeans have worked hard for Singapore. As a people, as a government, we have a responsibility to take care of our Singaporeans. We have a responsibility to give back to our Singaporeans. But today, many elderly Singaporeans still cannot retire because they cannot earn enough inside their CPF to retire on. First, wages have been depressed, so we cannot save enough inside our CPF. Second, the CPF interest rates are too low, so the CPF cannot grow. Third, HDB prices are too high, so it takes away our CPF. Fourth, the CPF minimum sum is too high, so it locks up our CPF. And fifth, the PAP takes our CPF to invest in the GIC and Temasek holdings, but does not return it to us. The PAP does not want to return our CPF. But is this right? Is this fair? Has the PAP been responsible to Singaporeans? We want transparency and accountability. For the past 15 years, Singaporeans do not even know that our CPF is invested in the GIC. The PAP did not want to tell us. In 2001, Lee Kuan Yew said that there is no direct link between the GIC and the CPF. In 2006, Lee Kuan Yew said that there is no connection between GIC's rate of return and the interest paid on CPF accounts. In 2007, when Low Tia Kiang asked in Parliament, does the GIC use money derived from CPF to invest, Ng Eng Hen said no. Now, the PAP did not want to tell Singaporeans that they have been taking our CPF to invest in the GIC. But over the last 3 years, I went through several government websites and dug out the truth. I found evidence on the government websites that the PAP has been investing our CPF in the GIC and Temasek holdings. But what did the PAP do? The PAP deleted the evidence that I found on these websites. Now, Goh Chok Tong said that the PAP are their own checks. But who does the PAP check? The PAP does not check itself. It only knows how to check the opposition. The PAP only knows how to fix the opposition. The PAP only knows how to fix Singaporeans. Now, if we wait for the PAP to do their own check, then sooner or later the PAP will checkmate on Singaporeans. But last year, we checkmate them. In May last year, for the first time in the past 15 years, the PAP admitted that they took our CPF to invest. For the first time. And this is after denying for more than 15 years. Before that, bo xia. Before that, the PAP was quiet as a mouse. Who is the mouse? Now, is this a kind of check that you want? Check the oppositions, checkmate Singaporeans, but never check themselves. Have to wait for a blogger to check them some more.那老虎不发威，他们当我们是病猫，还是病的老鼠？当我们发威时，是谁变了病猫、病老鼠？但是我们新加坡人，我们大人有大量。那我们大人不计小人过。既然政府不肯帮助新加坡人，那我们 自己进国会，我们新加坡人自己照顾自己。政府 PAP 要我们自力更生，好，我们自力更生，我们进国会自己靠自己，不需要再靠 PAP。我们要的不是一个欺负新加坡人的政府，我们要的是一个会爱护、会照顾新加坡人的政府。所以我们6个人来到红庙桥集选区，希望能为新加坡人做出一点贡献。那我们希望有你的支持，请投给我们一票。Now, Lee Hsien Loong said, people support CPF cuts because there are no protests outside Parliament. But last year, more than 10,000 Singaporeans protested at the return of CPF because many Singaporeans are unhappy with the CPF. The PAP brushed it off. But early this year, because of our protests and because Singaporeans, you stood up and you made that difference, the government finally made amendments to the CPF. Slight amendments. Very small amendments. Like a mouse. For Singaporeans above 55, and only on the first 30,000, the interest rates went up to 30%. It is an enhancement. But that is not enough. The CPF is our retirement fund. The CPF is our money. Now, but today, I hear many Singaporeans saying, I won't be able to get my CPF back, so I'll use it to buy a flat. Many of elderly Singaporeans cannot take out their CPF because the CPF is locked inside. But this is not right. Where is the responsibility of the government? This is why the Reform Party wants the CPF to be returned at 55. We want Singaporeans to be able to opt out from the CPF minimum sum. We want the interest rates to increase. And not only that, other than your CPF, we want to give Singaporeans an additional $500 every month so that our elderly Singaporeans can retire. Now we want to make public housing cheaper so that we do not have to use so much of our CPF to pay for housing loans. Now this is what the team believes. If you believe in equality, then you have to believe in equality. Your policies have to be equal. You have to create policies that are equal. Now we want to build a democratic society based on justice and equality so as to achieve happiness, prosperity, and progress for our nation. And to achieve equality for all Singaporeans. Now, I believe that we can see a Singapore where everyone is united regardless of who you support. That we will help one another to move along in society. That even if you are poor, you will not be poor. Now, and if you grow old, you can retire with dignity, real dignity. Now, I believe in a Singapore where everyone are truly happy, where everyone is relaxed, where we know that we are valued in our country, where we know that we have a voice, that we can make a difference, that we can speak up, that the government will hear us, and that the government will make the changes for us. Now I believe in a Singapore where we are protected and we are taken care of, and where we will give back to our society and help our country grow together. This is what we want for our country. Now, and this is the responsibility of the government. Now, the responsibility of the government is to take care of its people. Last year, more than 10,000 Singaporeans stood and demanded for change on our CPF. We got part of what we wanted. Today, we will represent ourselves to go into Parliament. I will go into Parliament. I will research on policies, and I will debate on them. Now we, my team, we will speak up for you, and we will fight for you so that we can make policies to protect Singaporeans. And so that we can make our lives better. So that we can return our CPF. Now, we do not want mice in Parliament. We do not want mice in white. We want just and honest men in Parliament who will go into Parliament with the heart to serve the people. Now, my team, our team, we will work together with our hearts to serve Singaporeans and to serve you. Now, we have spoken up for Singapore and Singaporeans, and we will continue to do so. Please support us, and please vote for us. Vote for Reform Party in Ang Mo Kio. Thank you. We look forward to a brighter future tomorrow, today. Thank you.